Okay, now I can hear myself. For some reason, my microphone was not microphoning, but also the music is not musicy. So there's always a different problem with Streamlabs. It's a fun experience, very fun experience. Okay, now we should be good. Let me try. Okay, so camera is working. Microphone is working because I see the bar doing its thing. Okay. But the volume is way too high for the music. Like, can we just put it like at 1? Okay. Oh boy, welcome back. So I hope you're doing good. I hope you're doing great. I will actually get going just for the fact that tonight I would like to wrap up a little bit early since I don't feel super well actually. Because I don't know, actually I don't know where you are based, but here in Belgium, like the weather is super cold right now. Super, super, super cold. And so I got a kind of a cold. I'm not sleeping very well. I feel like tired all the time. It's so annoying. Ugh. But yeah, aside of that, what we're doing today is, well, week 2 of the Gygax 75 challenge. To recap from last week so that we can start from the same page. Yes. So last time we worked on the concept, which was the challenge for week 1, and to get like the big, broad bird eye view ideas for the setting. We gave some motivation to the silver bullet kobold guy, girl, to set the cult and to start doing what she's doing with controlling dragons. We wrote down the source of inspiration, and we started working on the mood board as well. That was one of the fun parts. Va bene. Also, I already linked it. I mean, why do you have to ask me every time? Yes. Yes, thank you. Okay, and we were imagining something like for the kobolds, kind of vaguely steampunky technology vibe. So, yeah, we've got something going on. I think it's interesting, and let's see what's next for the week 2 challenge, because basically the tasks for week 1 were, well, create the notebook, develop the pitch, which was the main part, get the resources, well, the sources of inspiration, and then we went for the extra credit, which was assemble a mood board and practice the pitch, which, I mean, we don't have players to pitch to yet. So yeah, week 2. Let's see. Surrounding area. Gygax suggests sitting down with a large piece of hex ruled paper and drawing a large scale map. Well, I might not have that, but we can use some generator online, I guess. Map with a scale of 1 hex equals 1 mile will be about rifle player operations such as exploring, camping, adventuring, eventually building strongholds, okay. Even such small things as witch hut and side entrances to the dungeon can be shown on the map. The central features of the map must be the major town and the dungeon entrance. You bought a software. Ooh, you know, I did the same like last month. I don't know if it's the same, but there was a humble bundle last month for a map maker tool, which was crazy cool. Which I still have to try it out, but I've got it in my library. I have to just try it. Yes, this one, the Maps Extravaganza, which was very fun because you get a bunch of tokens, battle maps. You get resources and stuff for this software. It's nice. But yeah, I mean, if you have if you have the tool and you're ready to work on that, super welcome to share. So it's like less work for me basically. In the meantime, I'll read the tasks so that we know what to do. Ooh, this is a bunch of stuff. Wow. So get a sheet of hex paper. Draw the following items on it. Name anything worthy of a name. If you don't feel comfortable drawing, lots of hex mapping programs are available. I'm fond of Hex Kit by Negative Con. Oh, well, it's already suggested in the guide. Oh, it's on itch.io. Okay. How does it? Yeah. Okay, it's one of the paid ones. I mean, I already have one, so I appreciate that. But yeah, I'll pass for this time. So, on the map we should put one large settlement, define large however you like, two other settlements, camps, larger or smaller towns, keep, the home base of a fantasy race, etc. One major terrain feature covering at least 3 hexes, one mysterious site for exploration, and one dungeon entrance at least. Keep your map. The easiest way to do this is probably to number the hex rows and letter... Oh, key, not keep. Wow. Number the hex rows and letter the columns. This will give you coordinate to reference. Note down the names of places and terrain types using the coordinates to write them directly on the map. Okay. So regarding the scale, if your hex paper contained 23 by 14 hexes, a scale of 1 mile to 1 hex would represent an area equal to 322 squared mile. I mean, just to point out this fact, as a European, I'm extremely confused about all these calculations because like these numbers literally mean nothing to me. It's like reading, I don't know, 322 bananas squared. So yeah, that's fun in D&D. About half the size of a Greater London. You see, it's not a meme. Like even in the 1975, the meme was already present where like about half the size of Greater London. What kind of unit of measure is that? I mean, like, maps, okay? Just you know, just for the meme, okay? Greater London. Okay, so it's roughly half the size of this. Like, what now? Does it give me any information at all? Like, any? I love America. I love the US. Someday I'll have to visit. It sounds like fun. Oh yeah, I have to update the document here as well. So week 2, we are working on the surrounding area, not the concept anymore. Yes. And you know what? Just for the meme. We will put this because why not? So that people one day will discover this document and will be like, huh? But we will know. We will all know. So yeah, basically now the thing is only drawing the map actually. So let's see if there is a hex map maker, because as I was saying, I didn't really download the software yet, so I would have to install everything. It would be just super... How does it work? Oh, wee! I mean, it seems to have a lot of things. Can I reset the map? Because I feel like I started doing random bullshit and now it's like add row at column, delete hex in column, delete hex in row, no, clear hex. Ugh. I have a big idea where the campaign could start. Ooh, okay, talk about it. Let's give ideas already, because that's what we want to go for. You know what? I'll find something else because this one is already... Inferno maps. That sounds daunting. I don't like the text try now because it means at some point I will not be able to try anymore. Okay. Okay, now we can start. We can actually start fresh. So we'll try to. I'll just delete everything to actually start from scratch. Okay. How do I delete also all the other stuff? Because I see these lines here that I want to actually remove. Ooh, these are the roads, okay. Draw, remove road, add remove border. Okay, these are borders. You know, I wanted to, it's very, very precise clicks. This is exactly the reason why I'm not streaming Valorant right now and I'm streaming D&D instead, because yeah, I have to click like 5 times on the same square to get one line deleted from the map. How do I delete rivers though? I don't want a rivers. Oh yeah, remove river. Makes perfect sense. What's that? These are pins, I suppose. No. It's custom. Oh. I just want to remove the icons. You know, that's the only thing I would like to. Background, no. Rotate, no, I don't want to rotate. I just want to remove the labels. How am I supposed to remove the labels? Resources, settings again, no. GM mode. Paint the map. Symbols. I don't think we're looking for the symbols. Colors, custom, town, dungeon. Can we have just a simple hex map maker? Just we need something like very bare bones. I mean, let's try. So for the dimension, hey, Jadok, hello. We were saying, what was? I mean, it's not giving us a specific dimension, right? But so again, if you keep reading, a 1 to 6 scale would represent 12,432 square miles, roughly a third the size of Ireland. What kind of scale of reference is that? You may be tempted to go big, but the goal is to define an area in which character can adventure. You don't need to map the whole world. Scales any larger than 6 miles per hex should be dismissed out of hand. There will be time to draw a larger map in week 5, okay. A lot can be done with just a few hexes. Just 3 hexes, campaign starters. It takes just 3 hexes to start a campaign. Okay. I mean, we are not gonna read the whole thing, we're just gonna get the concept, right? Good flavoring to set me figure out dark woods where the goblin and spiders live. Okay, so they tell us, okay, you have just to have the starting point, an interest point for the players to explore, and then basically you just go from there. I wish I could have access to the tool they used. That would be fun. But yeah, we get the idea. Should we start out in the conquered Kobold Kingdom or maybe in an outskirts town without much industrialization? But yeah, should we start deeper in Kingdoms outskirts? Oh yeah, sorry, I totally didn't see the the question. Well, that really depends on how I think how you want adventurers to get in touch with the setting, right? Because one thing is to make them start from the get-go in the Fallen Cobble Kingdom, where there's a lot of maybe history to discover already there, or you make them start in a random ass tavern like every D&D game, and then they slowly build their way into whatever seems interesting to them, right? So I'm not really sure about that. It doesn't really tell us where to start. It just tells us to make them start somewhere. So actually, maybe we don't even have to think about that. Maybe we just have to decide again. 3 hexes, maybe 10 hexes at worst case, and then we can decide if that small area is actually part of the kingdom of the fallen kingdom of the kobolds, or if it's part of something else, right? Again, we need to think small for now. So let's start 23 by 14, so that we... I just want to check this too. I mean, 23 by 14 is already a lot, actually. Like, it's actually already a lot. Is there any way to click terrain when click drag across to change them? When you're finished, click download SVG or copy array, start over, is all your work. Okay, but the SVG will be, I guess... Oh no, we can actually... Nice! Okay, let's work on this one. I mean, it's, again, very basic, but it's what we need for now, so... Maybe we can make them start out in a coal mining town in the middle of the forest near the mountain. Ooh, yes! Yes! This I like. Once, because... for once, because it gives me Tales of Arise vibes, because I finished it like 2 weeks ago, and that's exactly the starting point, like a mining town in the mountains, which is super cool. And also it ties back to the setting that we wrote, so yes, that is a cool idea. So let's say we put it in the middle of the map just to use our space wisely. We can say there is... My idea is that the main Kobold Kingdom would be the heart of the industry, so you need a lot of coal, so mining towns would be prevalent to feed the industry. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. I would imagine, so the guide is telling us we need to define one large settlement, two settlements, two minor settlements, one major terrain feature, mysterious site, and dungeon entrance, for now. I don't think we have to follow this order specifically, right? So, going by logic, I would say if it's a town which is in a, in a mountain, we could actually do this. We could say this is the mountain, right? The town is right in the middle of it, like right in the heart of the mountain. Around the mountain, I believe there will be some more hills, right? Then this is where we are basically starting, I can imagine. And I would say the town is the large settlement for us, because it will be the starting point where the players will be. So there will be most NPCs, there will be taverns and fun stuff to find out before setting off for the adventure. The minor settlements... I have just a thing. The town itself as the big settlement, then the mines itself a bit to the north. Yeah, that works. And the mine can actually be the minor, like one of the two minor feature we need. Let's say we can have a custom color. Oh, wow, that's really customizable. Because I just want to distinguish like the major settlement from a smaller one, so we'll go for custom. We will do a very light gray, so that we know it's not the same thing. And we'll put the mine in the hills, right? I think it makes sense. So that the starting town is here. They have to actually traverse the mountain in a tunnel, I assume, because that's how mines work. And then they will find themselves on the other side of the mountain, on the hills where the actual mine site is. So I like that. Then we can have a train station to the west, which is where the coal gets transported to the main kingdom. Ooh, you're thinking trains. Okay. But would it make sense to have, like, I mean... So I know it's a fantasy setting, right? And we can do whatever the hell we want. And I like the train idea. But if I were a player playing this setting, and I'm one of the annoying players at the table, like Nick Sarvast in the chat can confirm that. I always ask very specific questions that you never think about. I would ask you, let's say we put the train station in this hex here, right? Like, why do you need to have the central town in the mountain, have the mine in the north, and then the transport mean to the rest of the kingdom on the west, right? It looks convoluted. Like it's not optimized. Like if is someone playing satisfactory factor, what's the name? But you know, the mining game, they would be very upset with this setup. I have a solution. Okay, let's hear it. Because yeah, I want to put the idea of the train. It's very cool because it makes sense, but I don't know if it makes sense to put it there. That's my only issue with this. Because then we have our two minor settlements. We already have the major terrain feature, and then we need mysterious site and dungeon entrance. So that's already a lot of stuff. So basically, the station came first. This happened with real life cities. People build a massive railroad, then dot stations along it, and cities sprawl along the railroad. Ooh, like historically speaking, you put the ooh. I like that. That's lore, and they so that you have an answer to the player that asks you why this, and then you make a history check, and they will be like, okay, I rolled at 35, and you will be okay. This happened. Okay. So basically, our railroad would pass through here, right? And we would imagine some midway stations just for people to get back on their feet. But nice, okay. I think I'll download the SVG. I'll open it. We'll take a screenshot and we'll write down like on the screenshot the what each square is, because otherwise each hex is, because otherwise we'll lose track of the thing. But cool. So we've got the large settlement, we got the two settlements, which are, one is a station and the other one is the mining site. Then we need mysterious site for exploration and at least one dungeon entrance. So, at least one dungeon entrance and a mysterious site. Well, if I will put mysterious for purple, because I don't know, it kind of looks like a mystery to me. I have a mysterious site in mind and a possible dungeon. Wow, you prepared a lot of stuff. Yeah, let's go with that. Because based on these elements, I mean, I could create some random stuff, you know, but nothing that I have in mind I feel would fit the vibe right now, because a mysterious site could be like, I don't know, a talking fountain. And you're like, yeah, okay, it's mysterious, they will explore, but it kind of sounds very, very random. The mysterious site could be an abandoned lumberjack shack. The lumberjack used to come to town, but he stopped coming. So an abandoned shack. Okay. Okay. We will put it, I would say, close to the mining site, because it would be like the place where I would put my shack if I wanted to have easy access to resources, but to the woods as well. We'll put just maybe not a forest, but light brush, like, you know, around here, because I imagine there are some kind of, you know, plants around the hills, on the, like, right to the foot of the mountains, and then the train tracks, they just go this way. Okay, nice. And then we need at least one dungeon entrance. And honestly, since we have a mountain, the mountain itself will probably, like, it would make sense the mountain contains the dungeon, because, like, it's literally the heart of the mountain, no? The dungeon itself could be, why not use an abandoned mine, since this is a mining town? Yeah, maybe there used to be another mine, but it collapsed right after striking gold, leaving tons of carts filled with gold inside. But why was the gold left behind? I mean, but yeah, should we put the mysterious and dungeons entrance as different? Yeah, I will put it at different. And dungeons entrance will be black, just to be sure. So let's say there's, the new mining site is on the north, the train station is on the west, but originally there were another at least two mining sites that, I mean, all the corridors within the mountain, I imagine them being connected into a network that starts from the central settlement, right? That would make sense. And then while they slowly depleted the east side and the south side, they just moved back to the north side. And so now these two mining sites are abandoned, they're not used anymore, as you say, but they could still contain some resources, and they still lead you into the mountain, potentially leading you to the town if you know the right way, or you could be just misled and lose yourself in the dungeons of the mountain. So yeah. Okay, I think we got something interesting going on. Regarding scale, we already went through that. Extra credit. Pimp your map. Ooh, nice. Stain it with coffee. I don't know, Mr. Guide. It's on my screen. I don't know if I want to do that, honestly. Stain it with coffee. Burn the edges a little. Okay, that I can do for sure. Or add some color. This will make your map feel like a real document, or give some presence at the table. Nice. I mean, it's nice for players if you bring like handmade stuff, for sure. So then we will, it says, create a random encounters table. Make a 2d6 table, 11 slots number 2 to 12. Put the least dangerous, most common encounters in the middle of the table, and the rarest ones top and bottom. Ah yeah, for the normal distribution, nice. I like this touch. Consider making a few of the encounters interesting NPCs. I also suggest including adventure hooks, like 2d4 goblins looting the corpse of a dead noble, instead of just writing 2d4 goblins. I already have a lot of things for encounters and random tables. I will show. Oh yeah, we'll catch up later. It's no problem. Bye. So I was saying, I already have a lot of random tables in my drive. We can take some inspiration from there. I would focus on, well, no, actually, we just have to build them, because that's pretty much it. Let me see. Wow. And they were saying, yeah, just start with the 2 or 3 hexes. It's gonna be fine. After drawing the sketch of Timor, I realized that it had a weird scale. Started with the cities, 1 mile. As I do with this, I intentionally shifted the scale. The result is a map has a kind of primitive cartography style where more important things are larger. This is how mistakes become cool features. Ah, okay, that's a cute thing. Random encounter table. Ooh, that's nice. The author challenging parties with logic. Oh, so they don't mean like fights. It's just like actual encounters. Okay. Rabbit Manticore has lost its sanity. Herd of centaurs. Petrol. Okay. And then we have week 3, the dungeons. So, okay. Maybe we can have a few plot relevant encounters that will help progress the story. Yeah. I think we should put. It's 2d6. So maybe 3 of them in the middle, like 6, 7, 8 slots should be either important NPCs or something story related. Everything else can be kind of maybe puzzly and random. Because yeah, so let's check again. I just want to be sure that I read correctly. Because they say put the least dangerous, most common encounters in the middle and the rarest one at the top. Consider making a few of the encounters interesting NPCs. Yeah. So we could put 3 encounters in the slots 6, 7, 8 for story purposes. Maybe 1 can be a potential fight and 2 are gonna be NPCs. And we can put still story related stuff maybe at the very edges of the array, just just in case, just to cover those slots as well, and then everything else can be just random fights with some kind of interesting hook. I like the actually the ideas they have here, and I will put them in my rule tables. But before getting ahead of ourselves, if I copy the array, does it mean I can just paste it here? No, okay, it's literally just the array. Okay. I don't know what I was expecting, honestly. Okay. It looks good. But we need to take some notes about it. So, well, yeah, I think the only way to do this is to just. Ooh, why is the screenshot so white? Why? It's just making the screenshot super light, like it looks like overexposed for some reason. You know what? I'll just put it here and then we'll. Will it count as an image because it's an SVG file? So yeah, no, it doesn't count as an SVG as an image. SVG to JPEG. I think it's like the easiest thing we can. Oh, come on. Let's try with TinyWow. Usually they have everything. Like if they don't have a tool for that, then nobody does. SVG. So they have stuff to SVG, but then they don't have SVG to anything else. SVG to PNG. Perfect. That is exactly what I wanted to go for. But it is. Ugh. I hate this. I hate this so much. Technology, man. Oh. Maybe a few kobolds playing card game on the street. You know what? I was thinking something similar for my campaign with my colleagues, but it's a kind of a different idea. I was thinking about a group of kobolds playing a game which is clearly Dungeons and Dragons, but in the game world, and the game should be called something like, I don't know, prisons and whatever monster starts with P, you know? That would be the idea. Or maybe kobolds and castles, but castles is spelled with a K, just because they're kobolds, they don't know, you know, grammar. What if I try to open the SVG on... Edge? No, I cannot make any modification to this. Right. Yeah. I mean, when you cannot find a solution to screenshots, print to PDF is usually the way to go. Worst case, you know. Oh boy. So technically now I should be able to at least put the document there. Oh, come on. Really? Why are you doing this to me? Eh? That took a while? Okay, is it possible to modify images directly though? I don't think so. I mean, we know what is each square byte. I would like to actually put a note on each one of them. Can I comment on a specific corner? No. So basically this is a streaming tutorial on how to like not do hex maps. If you want an actual tutorial on how to do them, it's gonna be next month. Or maybe they meet a group of kobold miners which would establish that kobolds are seen as the tiny and disposable of this world. Yeah, I mean... I think that kind of encounter should be like kind of hard-coded into the story, as like probably in the introduction when they are at the tavern they see a group of kobolds being treated not that nicely or something like that, just to establish the idea of the world, you know, to give them that idea. Because putting that kind of information in a random encounter, like, I mean, what if they don't roll the random encounter, you know? I think that if it's that crucial, it should be hard-coded into the story somehow. And then after doing that, then they can have other encounters with kobolds, and they will know this kind of interaction is normal in this setting. That's how I would do it, at least, you know. Yeah, no, there is no way. I'm still just double checking if there is a way to draw directly on the images, but apparently not. So we will just have to keep a very brief description. Let's put an alt text maybe. No. Suggest edits. Add emoji reaction. Very useful. Definitely a feature that everybody needs to react to an image. And I'll just place a comment. We just go old style. That will be so. Dark gray will be the that was the miners settlement. Then we have gray N stands for north. Will be mining site. Then we have gray west W. That will be terrain station. Let's say coal train station so that it's clear that it transports coal. Then we have purple will be the abandoned hut, right? Then we have black. It doesn't matter which one. Black is abandoned mines entrances, and just to make it extra clear, dungeon. Makes sense. Okay, cool. At least now we know. Okay. So that's taken care of, and now we were talking about random encounters. So for the random encounters, I will use my roll tables so that I can actually update them, because I love my roll tables and I actually need new ideas for encounters. So yeah, I based all of them on D100s, so some of them are not complete yet. So, well, I have to copy this description here. Sphinx, the Avatar of Order. Yes. The Avatar challenges parties with logic in riddle form and pounces on those who cannot answer, assuming their minds are tainted by chaos. Very specific. But it's nice because I've got riddles right here. So that works well for me. Okay. Hex map, I'll say starting area, so that we know it is that, and then I'll put encounter table. Table. Thank you. Ooh, Manticore. A rabid Manticore has lost its sanity. It roams the plains, slaughtering anything it encounters out of spite. just because. Okay. A herd of 1d6+1 centaurs are hunting a fugitive, a human who defaced the tribe's totem pillar. Well, I mean, that guy clearly deserves what's coming for him. I mean, why would you ever do that? Patrol of 1d6, 2 guards from a nearby city stop and question you about one-eyed man in oh my god, crimson armor. Why is it so difficult to say? A line of d6 wagons, each with a driver, 2 guard and d3 occupants trundle across the plain. They are desperate to find a water source. A caravan, ooh. I like this idea for my one-shot for Day of Dungeons, actually. Oh, which, by the way, little bit of a sponsored moment, not really a sponsored moment, but I care about this. You will not be able to participate because, well, it's here, but March this year I will be at St. Peter's Abbey in Ghent, 8th of March for Day of Dungeons. It's a little TTRPG festival we have here in Belgium. It started like 3 years ago now. This is the third edition. It's growing pretty fast. It's super nice. There are a lot of things to spend money on, like crazy. And I don't know. We just DM there for fun and to just have a good time with everybody. And basically, there are a bunch of workshops as well. And these are all the things that will be played during the day, which is already a lot of stuff. And again, not that you can participate, but I will be running a level 2 one shot called last 6 hours, where basically you have to run away from a Tarrasque because that's not something you will kill at level 2, and you have to save your caravan and bring it to safety to the Ark City before it gets launched to space to survive the Tarrasque attack. And on top of that, I will also be running the same story, but in the Cats of Cthulhu session. Yes, the big bad snake from beyond, which is Call of Cthulhu, where you are basically playing the same setting of Call of Cthulhu, but you are cats. And it's more or less the same one shot, just with a twist, because you are gonna have to help the caravan, the human caravan, survive the horrors from beyond while being a cat. And my idea is that whatever the players choose to do here in the last 6 hours will be actually reflected into the Call of Cthulhu session, so that if they chose to go over a bridge and not through the forest, then they will go on a bridge here as well. Obviously the players here will not know, but I don't know. I thought it was a cool idea. But yeah, back to the random encounters. I'll read the messages. I just want to take all the encounters from here from my random tables, because again, I like to gather ideas, and I really need to fill out the empty spaces. A filthy band of 1d4 flesh eaters, a person wanting to trick you relics, defining Coswell caves, they hungry. Ooh. Okay. Okay. Chaos Knight. A Chaos Knight covered in spiky armor is looking to impress their god and challenges the strongest representative of law among the party to single combat. Okay. As leader of Serpent Man, moving undercover of darkness and carrying a coded message to a cultist in Garen. I mean, those are specific references to this map, but I mean, if you don't have a Garen on your map, you can always put it after this encounter. A murder of harpies attacks the camp in 2 waves, feinting to draw off guards, then stealing any shiny object they can get the claws on. Ooh. This is a very detailed, but still general enough idea for a cool encounter. A vampire riding a flying horror of warped flesh spots you. Ew. What are the chances it will come back in the night or when you are weak? Well, I guess pretty high. Okay. Okay. I like these ideas. I'll just keep them for myself because why not? So, maybe we can have a plot relevant encounter, okay? Like, and we were saying, maybe a few kobolds playing a card game, or maybe they meet a group of kobolds miners, right? Maybe there's a kobold waiter that's been clearly overworked because kobolds would be used for every sort of job people don't like doing. I was thinking we could have a random encounter with a dragonborn guard who's basically harassing a kobold. So yeah, those again, I feel like those encounters like they are good when introducing the relevant part of the story or the setting to the players. Like because if you see these encounters are like general encounters that they don't really give you specific plot points, but they give you some more how to say hints about the actual world. Like for example, the flesh eaters, they want to trade the relics they found in God's Wall caves, and the players will be like, okay, what's God's Wall caves, right? And they will have a new element, but they don't discover anything new about the story itself. So I would say I would for sure take like two encounters where either the Dragonborn, like you say, is harassing a kobold. That's for sure something that you could put as an encounters just to see how the party will decide, who the party will decide to help in that occasion, for sure. Mm, but the kobold miners, the card game, all of that is like mm, I want to say kobold focused, even though it doesn't make sense. But I mean, it's obviously kobold focused. But we should maybe think about more general, like what encounters could be interesting for players to put around here to make them want to to see all the other hexes. That's the point of the table. That's where I wanted to get. Mm, mm, mm. Wait, wasn't there a way to be? Yes, table. We need a 2 by 6, right? Oh no, that's 2d6. Oh my god, I brain farted so hard. It's a 12. Obviously, no, it's 11 because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Oh my god, I cannot believe I brain farted so hard. So we have 6. I'll put 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And this one has to be just this because this will be, well, it's just the result. So yeah, it will start from 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then 7. In the meantime, you feel free to just put all the ideas you have in the chat so we can start to like look at them. Okay. Counter table will clarify it's a 2d6. Because for sure, I would say again the central ones, which are the important ones, we can definitely put uh, a dragonborn miner. Why does it have to be a miner actually? Because kobolds are already kind of the working force here, right? So I'm thinking band of goblin hunters. I mean, goblins are always a cool thing to put to throw to players at level 1. They're always fun. So let's put it in like here for now. We'll come back to it. I wanted to reason on the Dragonborn's identity, right? Because I don't want to say it's a Dragonborn noble because, like, again, it's just a mining town, but he could be like one of the, let's say, shareholders of the mines. Maybe he's got some interest, and so he feels entitled to mistreat the goblins, to harass the goblins, so that you make like a character that is interesting to talk with. You can kind of already hate him, but at the same time you will be wondering, I mean, it's a dragonborn harassing kobolds, what's going on? So maybe the players would be more interested in like knowing why. And if it's the starting town, well, we don't know where this happens, but we can. So let's a Dragonborn is, well, for sure we know this, is harassing a group of kobolds for being, how do you say somebody that doesn't work hard enough? Scansa fatica in inglese. Slackers. From being slackers. He slash she says that production has gone down in the North mine since last week, right? I think that's again, it's just a social encounter. It's nothing that has to spark a fight forcibly, but it tells the players, okay, this Dragonborn has some kind of power over the kobolds. He is mistreating them because production has gone down in the northern mine, so they know there's a northern mine now, and nothing more. So it kind of gives them a hook without giving them the whole information. I wanted to find maybe if there's already something with goblins here. There's nothing with goblins. Because again, goblins could be interesting, but how do they fit inside this, right? Because again, the idea, at least from what I'm getting from the challenge, is that the idea is that you want to somehow, some way, tie every encounter to something on the map, to something that is actually relevant. So maybe the goblins have recently occupied the abandoned hut, right? Because they are goblin hunters, as you said, and living in the forest here, they just found the hut was abandoned and they just started colonizing it and calling it home. Hunters have colonized the abandoned huts and founded a colony there. But wait, I mean, the only way the players could receive this information is if they actually went to the hut, right? So the encounter itself should be something or someone that gives them a hint that this is happening in that part of the map. So how do we make this happen? Oh, easy. Goblins are very arrogant, they're very dumb, they are not clever creatures. So a group of, let's say, I want to say, what's the goblin stat block actually? I don't want to put too many goblin stats block. TNT. I remember, I mean, they should have like, I don't know, 2 HP. 7 hit points! That's crazy. But I think a d6 of goblins is okay. A group of 1d6 goblins is overstepping. Like they overstep because they conquered the hut and they like, okay, now we can just, conquer the whole mountain. Is overstepping into the hills / mining site area. And based on the party's decision, then the goblins can say, oh yeah, we colonized the abandoned hut, or maybe some of them flee and the party can follow them to the hut. So at least we're giving them some kind of, you know, idea on what's happening without giving them the information straight up. And it's also it's on the 2, which is the one of the less frequent roles, so I think it should be okay because it's just a mysterious side. It should be something extra, not something central. So yeah, does it work? Does it make sense? mm, mm, mm. And this is just a social encounter, so we don't actually need the number of kobolds. Well, cool. We only need another 8. Let me check my roll tables if we can find something interesting. Because I have heavy buzzing in the air, something smells bad somewhere off the road. Investigation leads to a carcass of a pack of animals covered in sturges who are feeding off of it. The pack animal seems to be carrying a saddlebag of some sort. Could be a wolf, maybe, because we're talking about pack animals. So maybe it's... No, this music is too dark, sorry. As you travel the road, a dark storm rages above you, washing the cobblestones. The lightning and wind conspire to reduce your ability to see up ahead. Try to find a campsite, but your party soon spots a small liquoring covered lantern attached to a roadside tavern. As you approach, you notice the door is swinging open in the night air. The sign hangs loose on the edge of the chimney, shows no sign of smoke. Lightning reveals the strong, steady flow of blood pouring down the front step. Ooh, this could be interesting if we maybe tied it to one of the, you know, midway stations from the mining site to the train station. Maybe that could be an idea. A stray dog begins to follow the party. Ooh, there's a typo there, by the way. At a distance, with a good animal handling check, the dog will react to the party in a friendly manner. You can keep it or return it to its owner for a reward. Ooh, this I like because we have the owner. So this will be maybe a slot 9, makes sense. Reward. The owner is the lumberjack that disappeared. And then this gives you a chance to also make a cool NPC and say, ooh, okay, why did he disappear? What happened to him? Why did he abandon the hut? I'll keep putting the ideas. Then, if we want to change anything, you tell me. I just want to fill in the encounter table with stuff that makes sense. A noble steed comes galloping over the road. The rider is nowhere to be seen. A skill challenge is needed to stop this beast from running on and calming it down. 3 successes before 2 fails. Saddlebags with a crest embedded on them are filled with paper document. What the hell? Paper documents, a huge pouch of silver, and some traveling rations. The saddle is also engraved, probably worth a pretty penny. The horse was stolen from an estate, and the rider was thrown off. Oh, come on. And killed by the horse. Everyone in the region would recognize the crest. It could be nice for something that gives a hook on larger ideas we put later. Should have some sort of mythology involved, because I can cook up some one-off monsters. I mean, do you want to have mythology? Because that's usually a cool thing to have. So, I mean, why not? Like, as all things in D&D, why not? I mean, almost, let's say almost all things, because some homebrew things, they have a long list of why nots. But, yeah. Giant Eagle swoops in and steals something from the party. This is just too generic, but I like the Noble Steed idea because then again you get to create a crest to give them something to work on, and you can come up with a crest that says, okay, this guy belongs to, well, this horse belongs to that family. Maybe they are tied to the Dragonborn that owns the mines. Maybe it's somebody else, but could be interesting, because the encounter itself will be just the party trying to calm down the horse and trying to figure out where it comes from. A funeral hosted by the silly court that is gathering before a mighty parade. All who pass by are magically charmed into following the procession, seemingly thrown themselves into reenacting. Nah. 2d4 fairies are following behind the party. Whenever the party looks behind or seems to be getting wise, they hide. They're quite oblivious, however, and if snuck upon, can be heard making bets about which party member will get eaten by the beast ahead. Okay, no. Column of Hedgehog Knights. The Order of the Night Guild literally is a small awakened hedgehog is nightly. Nah, this doesn't fit. Warforge is chopping again. Why this typo? Wood near cottage. Curled up on the steps of the cottage is a lion. That's very specific. And then we have the new ones, basically. Terrified looking person is found balancing a goblet on their head, filled to the brim with water. They will plead for the party to help them. They explain that a fae puts the goblet there, and if a single drop of water falls from the goblet, they will die. They have been standing there for quite some time. They are terrified to attempt to remove the goblet. Examination of the water or the goblet reveals it's ordinary, and nothing happens if spilled. The poor soul have been triggered by fae. Nah, faes are not a big part of this setting, I feel. Maybe an encounter with a sick kobold child who's begging on the streets. Okay, okay. That. Ooh. Okay. I got the hook. That's a nice hook. A group of what's the stat block for guards in D&D? Guards D&D stat block, because it would be nice to put a social encounter that can potentially turn into a combat. Okay, guards are 11 hit points. That's okay. Let's say about goblins. So we put the goblins as a d6 and they have 7 HP. Yeah, it's not that big of a difference. But also your damage at level 1 is not that high. You know, just because a group of d4 guards is harassing a small how are kobold like puppies called? It's a very weird question that I would have never imagined asking in my life, but kobold child's name? I don't know. But hatchlings or cubs? No, okay, that's a bit too young. Kobe Young's dinner. Like, I think Reddit is like absolutely wild. Let's say just a small a young kobold. Let's just say young kobold. It's gonna be easier. And in the mines, the party can encounter some minor ghosts. Ooh, okay, I see what you mean. Yeah. So that could be a nice encounter for the dungeon itself, to be honest, because like the idea of a random encounter table is that it's something you can roll anywhere at any moment, basically. Because if you have to wait up to a certain point to roll something and you want that encounter, at that point you just build the encounter into the story you're telling, right? The random encounter table should just be like, regardless of where the party is located on the map, you just roll and that encounter happens. So it should be something that is generic enough, generic enough to be like modular, but it should be specific enough to give a hook to the party. So that's why I'm saying, you know, it starts with a dragonborn harassing a group of kobolds. This could happen anywhere. The noble steed comes galloping, it can be anywhere. The stray dog follows the party, again, could happen anywhere. But if you tie a random encounter to a specific location, it's not a random encounter anymore. That's just something that you want to just build into your session. That's why I think the minor ghost idea is very cool for the first dungeon, if they decide to explore it. An encounter with a sick kobold. Oh yeah, okay. How about a drunken dwarf on a gambling spree in a blackjack-like card game? Okay, now we're cooking. So a group of is harassing a young kobold beggar in the streets. Okay. The drunken dwarf can be slot 5. It's okay. It's a social encounter. So a drunken dwarf is gambling. Actually, well, because it, like the drunken dwarf would need a specific place to be gambling at. So let's say a drunken dwarf challenges the party to a gambling game. Should it be blackjack-like? Blackjack. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Well, I mean, actually, you could put anything you want there, but let's see. Blackjack. Ooh, you know what I always wanted to put in my D&D games and I never had the chance to do? The dice game in Cult of the Lamb. What's it called? Knucklebones. Knucklebones is fun because it's very quick, but it's also super addictive. Oh no, wait. Maybe it's not Knuckleballs. Dice game Cult of the Lamb, I think. Oh, okay, it's the same. Just okay. I don't know if you ever played it, but it's very fun. It's actually very fun. So you know what? I'll put it as an idea. It's not like you have to use it, but it's fun. Knucklebones. If you never played Cult of the Lamb, highly recommended. Even if you don't like farming sims, it's very highly recommended. Even though it's not really a farming sim, it's like a very good hybrid of a farming sim with a roguelike. So very nice. Gambling game, okay. Ooh. I'm cooking now. The dwarf is using a set of weighted dice, which is actually D&D weighted dice. It's actually an item, so no. D&D dice. I remember I used it in one of my one-shots last year. I mean, it's gonna be easier to just take it from the one-shots at this point. So let me see. It was not the trees have eyes. It was the end of the world and back. Yes. Introduction. Blah blah blah. Maelstrom. Charlatans die. There you go. Whenever you roll this six-sided die, you can control which number it rolls. This is nice. Just to add some challenge to the thing. Yes. Okay. If the part wins, if the party wins, what do we give the party if they win? Because I guess the drunken dwarf will either have no money because he's drunk, so he spent everything on booze, or he's got maybe information to give them. So maybe you know what? The dwarf could be one of the lieutenants of the mines, like not a very high-ranking person, but somebody that just got off his shift. And I mean, they could just win some money. And since the production has gone down in the northern mine, as we know from here, even though this encounter will not happen, but if the party wins, we can give them a second way of finding out this information so that they actually get to explore the northern mine, right? The small golden watch. Eh, why not? They will decide what to do with it. Golden watch. Ooh. Found in the eastern mine entrance, because we said earlier that those entrances were abandoned, but some stuff stayed there. So the party will know, like, ooh, maybe there is more, and maybe someone will be like, ooh, I want to go there to get more. I like this. Yeah. If they lose, they lose. How much gold is too much gold? How much gold do you have at level 1? Since this is the starting point, so you know, starting gold at level 1 D&D. Like, I'm too lazy to go look at the at the guide. Reddit, this is just a lot of gold by level. Okay, yeah, you have less than 100 gold anyway. So let's say that you lose 10 gold. Because, I mean, if you're gambling, it should still be significant, but not financially ruining your life. Okay. Maybe they can encounter a street performer of sorts. Yeah. Street performers are street performers, so why not? Should it be a bard? Or should it be like some other kind of street performer? Because I think a bard could be just nice, like, you know, very bread and butter, very vanilla, just a bard doing bard things. Hear me out. I'm hearing you out. I'm so much hearing you out that my dog fell asleep in a very, very compromising position, actually. I will not show this on stream because an elf that does card tricks. Ooh, I like it. Yeah. An elf street magician. Okay. And we'll clarify card tricks. Is is showing off his skills in front of a small crowd, but we've got an interesting NPC. We need to make him or her do something interesting. You know what I mean? Like, some players could be like, oh yeah, okay, cool, card tricks. I don't care. So what, like, there is something the party can find out that makes this NPC actually interesting to go and interact with. So the street magician, I have an idea. Wow, you have a lot of ideas. Let's hear. That's what we need to finish building this. In the meantime, like, this is the last step, right? Yeah, before week 3. Yeah, okay. Okay. I think that then maybe offline we'll just reproduce the map in a nicer editor, and we'll write down all the labels and stuff so that it looks a bit less confusing. But yeah, maybe the elf is promising a reward to whoever guesses how he does his tricks. I mean, yes, but also it's a world with magic, so anybody could just do an Arcana check. Like, literally anybody could do an Arcana check. Even the NPCs could do just, yeah, Arcana check. It's magic. It's a cantrip. So so I mean, oh, wait. How about, did you ever see the movie Now You See Me? If you didn't, watch it because it's so fucking cool. If you did see it, how about the Elf Street Magician is part of a kind of Now You See Me situation, right? Yeah. How about that? How about, like, the elf is the street magician, right? But he's got another, I don't know, 2 comrades that are doing other stuff uh, through the crowd while nobody's watching, and they are actually up to something. So that the party notices the street elf, the elf magician, but they also see that there are another couple of maybe figures in the crowd that shouldn't belong really there, and that are maybe stealing stuff from the crowd, or they are doing some weird shit. I think that could be very nice, because, like, that's, as a player, I think I would enjoy, like, knowing that, oh yeah, okay, card tricks, but those other guys, what's the deal with them, you know? Maybe they all have a specific symbol of them, or a specific, I don't know, they have, like, a common characteristic. Like, I don't know, all of them have a red strand of hair, but I mean, it's not something you would notice normally, but it's something that if you notice it, you're like, okay, why only those 3 have the red, strand of hair? So let's start writing it down, because I like the idea. So they are actually part of a group of scoundrels, because I wanted to sound fancy. Of, let's say, a group of 3 scoundrels. We don't want to put them against, like, a whole cult at level 1, but group of 3 scoundrels that is this track that is well, let's say just they're robbing the crowd from their possessions while they are distracted. So it gives a reason for the party to... Yeah, pickpocketing, yeah. That's what I was thinking, like in the end it's... If you cannot find a very cool explanation to something, it's like, oh yeah, that's really cool. Going with something very simple and bread and butter and realistic is still always a good option. So yeah. They are robbing, yeah. Okay. Nice. Oh, we are missing one thing though, which is some kind of interesting information the party can get from them. Although it could just be maybe the start. You know what? It could be the start of a side quest. It could just be the start of a side quest where these three guys are recurring NPCs and they find them like way down the road in a different town, and they're like, "You're the same guys," like Team Rocket. Idea for recurring NPCs or side quest. Example, I just write it down because I know I'll forget it by tomorrow probably. Example, they meet again way down the road later. Okay. We are missing 4 slots, so good job so far. I mean, we're doing a pretty good job. What can we put as the last 4 encounters? Because... let's see. You know what? Let's look up just a second, just to assess how many like fight versus social encounters we have. We have a group of goblins that is overstepping. This is like 90% is gonna be a combat. This is more social encounter, so it's 1-1. The drunken dwarf, this is again encounters, so 1-2. Dragonborn is harassing a group of kobolds. Could potentially turn into a fight, so but it's still more social, I think. So 1-3. Group of D-guards, this is most probably a fight, so 2-3. Noble steed, this is social, it's 2-4. Dog begins, this is 2-5. So actually we can put, you know what? We have 4 slots, so we can still put 2 puzzles and 2 fights, like 2 actual fights, like combats. A little kobold miner that's selling small nuggets of shining stones he finds in mines, and maybe the party can fight geode with an item inside. I mean, if it's a geode with an item inside, I don't think they're small shining pebbles, nuggets. But yeah, it could be. Okay. Hear me out. A little kobold that's selling like he's got like some kind of black market thing going on is nice as an idea. I like it because it could give the players the idea that kobolds are not completely dumb. You know, they are not completely... They're not letting go of things. They are still trying to fight the system somehow, even in illegal ways. But, oh, sorry, just give me a second. Okay, we were saying. Okay. Sorry, let me refresh the chat because otherwise I cannot read anything. So yeah. So yeah, I was saying, sorry, about the small kobold. So having a kobold trying to sell stuff on the black market could be nice to give some world building elements to the player, saying, okay, so kobolds are not just being dragged around like nothing. They try to kind of fight the system somehow in the only way they know. So yes, I don't know if I want to put it to as a 4, maybe a 10. Maybe I'll move. It's just a matter of that, you know, putting as a 4 it means you specifically need to roll 2 and 2, and for a 10 you can either roll a 6-4 or a 5-5. Maybe better put it as a 10 actually. They get more chances to be. Still, I would like to put it in the, you know what? Let's get rid of the noble steed and put it as 12, because that's just most probably another side quest in any case. I would say we move. I want to put it in the 7 slot. So a kobold is trying to sell. Let's say, how did you write that again? I like the shiny nuggets. Shiny. I like it. I like the word nuggets because it reminds me of chicken nuggets. Kobold is trying to sell shiny nuggets and geodes to the to passerbys. Yes, passerbys. I'll put like black market, market. If the party pays, this has to be something that you say, okay, it's money, but maybe it kind of it should feel like gambling to the player. So I would say, let's say it's like 25 gold pieces, but they can do like, I don't know, charisma checks and everything. But let's say the asking price is 25 gold pieces. They get a chance to find a magic item in the geode, right? This doesn't really have to be specifically word building, like just you throw it out there. It just, they will find the kobold, and if somebody does the reasoning of, ooh, okay, this guy is selling stuff on the black market, so they have something going on, that's cool. Otherwise they just get the item and they're like, oh, I got the magic item, and they forget about everything else. Little kobold miners are selling. Okay, sorry. As for fights, maybe you can have a group of guards that mistakes the party for a band of fugitives. Yep. Yeah, that's reasonable. Why not? But if it has to be a fight, this will be. You know what? A group of 1d6 guards mistakes the party for some fugitives and tries to catch them. And then again, it doesn't really have to be a fight forcibly, because the party can say, oh no, look, it's not us, but yeah. And this again can be a nice input for a side quest of like, okay, find the fugitives, find the actual guys. You know what? Let's give this group the actual. I mean, we have them here, right? Like the guards are trying to catch the magicians, but the now you see me guys. So the actual scoundrels are the thieves in roll 2 of this table. Roll 3 of this table. Meaning that, you know, if the party rolled them and met them, they know. Otherwise, they have to find them, and that triggers the side quest. Also, maybe the party can find the actual band of fugitives who tries to mag them. Yeah. But why complicate things when we already have something here? Like, we can, you know, I like to interconnect things a little bit because as a DM, I like to help players. Like, I always want to give them a second chance of getting things they can find about, because I feel like, on the other hand, I prepare a lot of stuff, and if they don't find it out, I'm like, yeah, okay, I just spent a lot of time preparing something that they will never find out again, right? So I prefer to give multiple chances so that they get to find something cool, and I get the satisfaction of saying, okay, you find it out finally of this idea I thought about. So okay, we got 2 rolls. The last 2, I would say puzzles. Do you want to do some one-off monster fights? What do you mean one-off monster fights? Because I'm not really sure what you mean by that. But the last 2 spaces, I think it would be nice to put them as puzzles, although it's not like compulsory because nothing tells us, okay, they have to be puzzles. But it would be nice to put something like that. Although in a village there's admittedly nothing much to do, honestly. Like a monster that's tied to the region, you fight the monster and it's just that. Oh, you mean so they can find out about just the general biology of the area? Okay. I second that. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense to have some kind of ecosystem going on in your region. So for my fights, I don't know if I already suggested it last week, but for my fights, I usually use Kobold plus Fight Club, just to see the monsters, to see what could be a nice idea of monsters. For the actual difficulty level, because this is kind of this follows the XP, but it's not really super reliable. I use Battle Sim, which is pretty fleshed out. Like, it's actually a solid system to keep track of what could happen in an actual fight. Like, it gives you the whole simulation, so it's nice tool. But yeah, for the monsters, let's say we don't care about the size. The CR will check. Creature type, we don't care. Native environment, okay. We can say it's either caves. It could be hill, for sure. Mountain, for sure. Swamp, no Underdark, underground. Maybe underground is if a specific creature is nicked out. Urban, not really, because I mean it's a settlement, so let's try with this. What do we have? Please put them by CR. So we've got bats, cranium rats, eagles, giant fire beetle, hawks, lizard, myconid sprout, red scorpion, shrieker. What's a shrieker actually? Oh. False appearance. While the sugar remains motionless, it is indistinguishable from an ordinary fungus. Oh, this could be so fucking scary in a dungeon. Like, imagine like you're touching a mushroom and then it starts screaming in your face. Like, no, absolutely not. I would run away. Boggle D&D. Boogeyman. Trickster phase. Nah, we don't want phase. You know what? Let's take out the phase from the, because like phase are not really. So I think undeads, they do not fit. Uzis, humanoids, fiend. Okay, Fae for sure they don't fit. I think celestials are also out of questions. Okay. We got kobolds, of course. Young Kruthig was there. Should we try and hint at Silverwood's growing influence early on? So I would answer to your question definitely yes, like 100%. You should do that because like, you know, that's the main point, at if not of the campaign, at least of the setting, of the first chapters of the setting. But that should be built in the sessions. Like, I mean, that should be like in some way should be weaved in into the introduction to the players, saying, like, making them understand that that will be the final goal, at least for the first adventure, or for the first part of it. Oh my god, it's getting so hard to keep speaking English. I'm starting to be a bit tired, honestly. These things look nasty, and imagine a thing like this, like coming out of a mountain, like that's horrifying. Tiny aberration. CR, it's 1/8, so it's not even like super high. Xvart. What's a Xvart? Nah. Zwart Speaker, Neogi Hatchling. Drow. Maybe can be something silly and common, like a bull who escaped its pen. So yeah, I think we can either go in that direction, like you know, fetch my cows kind of thing, or it should be like the other option is it should be a creature that actually gives some world building, like more like biology slash ecology. Hence, wind kobold, is this a thing? No way. Wind kobolds? What's a Darrow? Okay, so I'll cut you a deal. We'll search this page. We'll search page 6. If we cannot find anything interesting that we say, oh yeah, that's a cool thing to have in this ecosystem, then we'll go with just like fetch my ships kind of thing. I like the insects idea from the caves, but at the same time it doesn't really feel correct. So Oblex, nah, okay. Turtle, no. Kobold Inventor. Rothe, what's a Rothe? Oh yeah, we found our bull. Lol. I mean, it's exactly what you were saying. It could use the Rothe stat block. Because I think being 1/4 shouldn't be like crazy. It shouldn't be crazy difficult. Okay. Okay, let's just check page 6 to see if we find anything. Starspawn grew. What? Do we have any images for this? Nah. Black bear. Dark mantle. It's a squid. No, thank you. Got spore giant goat. How giant are we talking about? Hobgoblin, Magma Mephit, Myconid adult. Okay, so you know what? It could be like one encounter could be a mountain goat, and one encounter could be the Rothe. So, but still, we can weave in like world building elements. So the question we should be asking ourselves is, given the Rothe and giant goats are a thing in this world, what are they used for in a coal/mining society? Like, I would imagine the Rothe being like very bulky, very heavy. They would probably be like the means of transportation. They just pull caravans, they pull the mining carts, they do all the heavy lifting. While maybe mountain goats, they could be used by the scouts and the guards of the mines to be sure that no kobolds escape, because they're kind of agile on the... Maybe can something sing in a common. Oh, I was thinking something like a skinwalker or Wendigo, or just a tall lanky dude with a skull for a head. Wow, this became very horror very quick. But I also like it because there's a part of forest. So... Ooh, okay. I think I've got it. So I'll write it down and then I'll explain. But so I heard of... So Rothe stats block continue. Do we have... isn't there like some... They have 15 HP, okay. They have 4 strength, charge. Takes an extra 2d6 piercing damage. That's a lot. So we don't want to put too many, but it has to be like kind of... It has to be clear you cannot stop them like that. So I heard of... I want to say either 1d8 or 2d4. Let's say it's a small herd, so 2d4. Like that just for like numbers distribution matter, but I would say a herd of 2d4 Rothes is going on a stampede. Is that correct? Is going on a stampede? Is that the correct way to say it? Stampede? A stampede. They are being chased by stampede. The detail you want to include in the description here, they carry on their backs the remains of reins and ropes attached to a very battered mining cart. They're being chased by a group of I want to say guards, just generic term, a group of guards mounting giant goats. And now I'll explain. The reasoning is because I wanted to again build in world building elements without giving them straight up to the players, right? So the idea is the Rothes are being used to do all the heavy lifting. So they were attached to a cart, something happened, and they went on a stampede, they are causing a ruckus, right? And so they are very strong, but they are very slow. That's the idea. But the idea is, okay, these things are being used for carts, while the fact that the group of guards chasing the rotates is using giant goats means that the giant goats are the means of movement preferred to go like quickly from one place to the other to actually move yourself. Again, you're not telling this to the players, but you're giving them the elements to understand it. That's how I like to do stuff. So I think that could be a nice encounter to give them for sure. Maybe a kobold, like let a bunch of them loose to disrupt the guards and operations as a whole. Yeah, but then the guards would just suppress the kobolds and would punish everybody like they're already doing. You know what I mean? Like in this kind of setting, like I mean, if one guy does something wrong, like one kobold does something wrong, like everybody else has to pay for it. So I in that case I would like the idea of the Wendigo way more because it makes like okay, well, what's up with that, you know? So, but yeah, it's either a Skinwalker or Wendigo. I would say maybe a Wendigo. I mean, it's a mountain setting, so Wendigo makes a nice encounter. I will just write Wendigo. That's it. But what's the stat block of the Wendigo actually? Wendigo D&D. Because I think it's actually pretty high. Yeah, Wendigo challenge rating 3 could be already high for starting setting, but they don't have to fight it. Okay. The party can side Wendigo roaming in the roaming around the hills through the thickets. And then it's just a matter of okay, do they want to follow it? Do they just ignore it? What's the deal? Wounded Wendigo, like it's been hit with something, it's clearly not its best to say. Ooh, yes. Side. Party can side. Wounded Wendigo. Roaming around this through the tickets. Upon closer inspection, it's how do you write it's? Okay. No, that's not the way you write it's. Yes. It's being stabbed by a, I would say by several arrows. That would make sense in the forest, right? Like some ranger or someone. But it's been stabbed by arrows. No, it's been like hit by several arrows. If defeated, the part is the heart of the Wendigo like an actual item? Heart of Wendigo D&D. I cannot remember all the stuff. Yeah, no, because our master gave us in the campaign here in Brussels, gave us like. Okay. I mean, that's something you can just make up, honestly. Let's just say the party can chase it, kill it, or let it go. Then it's just a matter of how you want to run things. Or let it go. Yes. Maybe we can make it a sort of food item that gives a strength boost on consume. Yeah, then like any drop from the Wendigo can be like you can decide it on the spot. It's not a matter of doing it now. I'm also saying this because I'm super freaking tired. It's almost 10 for me. And I really feel like I need to sleep because tomorrow is gonna be a long day. but actually we managed to get to the end of week 2 in one piece, so happy about that. We still made it in time because I already had like in mind to stop by 10. Like my actual idea was 9:30, but it's fine. I had fun doing that. So cool. Very very nice. Lots of cool ideas. It's nice to see that slowly things are coming alive, right? This will stay there forever. Uh, the only thing I'm gonna ask you, if you have time, if you want, maybe revisit the map in the program you have. Would make things a little bit nicer to see. Just it's just a matter of aesthetics. Like we know what each thing is, but yeah. And also, I was thinking like if we actually get to a proper complete complete setting. Well, thank you about that. Thank you for that. The hell. So yeah, thank you for working on the map in that case. In this case, I was saying if we get to an actual finished product that looks playable and looks interesting, it would be nice to maybe try and bring it on streaming someday. You know, would be very very nice to do that. So we will see about that because I think there are a lot of cool ideas, and nobody is watching my streams right now, so it's not like we risk spoiling anything to anybody because the VODs will be gone by the time we finish it. So yeah, I would very much like to do that, but we'll see. We'll see about it. And okay, so for now it will be again great thank you from me for following. We can make YouTube videos on deciding and it's making. Yep, definitely. That's an idea for the future. But yeah, I was saying thank you for the company, thank you for the ideas. I will go to sleep now, and just as a reminder, I'll be streaming Baldur's Gate on Thursday. I'll be streaming my session prep on Saturday, although our next session is actually in 2 weeks, so I'll do just general discussing of how to prepare sessions, ideas, and stuff, but still, we can have a chat. And that's it for this week. So, yeah, thank you again. Have a good night or a good afternoon, I think, and we'll catch up very soon. Bye.